message is for the Living Beyond Normal teenagers this week. This is a shout out to Dana Lee and Emmy Tubbs, who left sticky notes all over their family's house as a way to encourage and surprise them. Way to go, girls. We love you and we miss you.
Hey guys, so there's one more person that we get to honor today, and that is Megan. Megsies, Megal, Megazorpolopoulos, Mama Megs, however it is that you know her by. It is her birthday today, and since we don't get to celebrate her Thursday birthday like we normally would, but we still want to make her feel special and honored because we love her so much. We love you so much, Megan. So go ahead and send Megan a birthday shout out in the comments, text her, send her a message on Instagram, let her know how loved she is because she's amazing, and I know that she's poured so much into my life, and I'm sure into so many of yours. So honor her today, and yeah, I'm gonna toss it over to Chris with your message.
Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good because I've got my Starbucks. But we're a month in now to this quarantine, and I want to ask really, how are you? How is your soul? How is your heart, your mind, your spirit? How's your bedroom looking? It's either really, really clean or really, really dirty. I can tell you that right now from knowing my own kids. But tonight's about asking, how are you really? And so chat below about some of these options. But you might be more bored than you were before. Or you might be less bored because you figured out stuff to do or new hobbies or new things that you're learning. So some of you are more bored, some of you are less bored. Some of you are more depressed than you were before. Some of you are less because you've gotten used to it or not gotten used to it, as the case may be. Some of you have accepted the opportunities you've missed out on, the graduations and the trips, and you've kind of come to terms with that, and you're feeling better about that, or you're feeling worse because you're looking down the future at things you might still be losing, that you might still have to grieve. And some of you are more hopeful than you were before. The sun's out, we're getting near the end of this thing, and some of you are more hopeful, but some of you are less hopeful, and you're like, I don't know when this ends. I don't know how long we're going to be in this. They keep extending the deadlines. Like, I'm less hopeful than I was when we started. So however you are and however you're doing right now, we want to just talk to that tonight. No matter how you answer the question, how are you guys, we want to address that tonight. So I've got a verse for you tonight that is going to speak to all those things. It's going to speak to all those feelings. It's going to speak to your boredom. It's going to help you with depression. It's going to give you hope. And it is going to take your mind off all those missed opportunities. So we're going to get at it for a minute, but this verse today is going to kind of shake the wheel of your month and your quarantine right now, and it's going to help us keep the main thing the main thing. In case you forgot what the main thing is, I want to remind you that God is not shook by this, that Jesus is still on the throne, and that your eternity is still secure, and that you are still called, and you're still chosen, and you are still healed, and you are still saved. And so we need to figure out how to keep the main thing the main thing. The cross still works, and so we can rely on that. And your generation still needs hope and salvation. And you, say you, are still God's chosen way of getting those two things to them, hope and salvation. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to help keep the main thing the main thing. It's a lot about our verse for the year. Hebrews 11:6 says God is real and he wants to reward you. So if all those things are true, and if the main thing is still the main thing, then we have a job to do. We are still the diff, and we still have a job to do. And so I want you to chat below just for a second before we start getting into the verse. What's one thing you can still do, even though it's a quarantine, to impact yourself or someone else for God? So think about that. And write it below if you have an awesome idea, or even if you have a bad idea. Write it down anyway, because we might make it awesome. So we're going to speak to that verse. Now we're going to give it to you, and you're going to see how it applies to your life. So it is 1 Thessalonians 5:11. I'm just going to read it here for you. It'll come up on your screen, and so you can follow along, or on your Bible or in your phone. So it says this: So comfort each other and give each other strength, just as you are doing now. So I'm going to read a couple more versions of that. I want you to catch the key words that are going on here. Write down the ones that speak to you, or the ones where you know you really need that word in your life or more of that word in your life. So here's another version of it. It says, therefore, or so, encourage each other and help each other grow stronger in faith. Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up. So, encourage one another with the hope you have. Build each other up. So, there's a lot of words that are saying different things and the same things. I want you to grab the ones that speak to you. Some of them are comfort, encourage, make strong, grow faith, give hope, build up. So, that's what we can do right now, even in a quarantine. And so, last week we talked about how to feed ourselves, and this week's going to be about how to feed somebody else. And so chat below right now which one of those phrases you either need the most right now or love giving the most, and we will get at it. So the thing about this verse is, and why I say it's going to speak to all the things you're feeling, is that when you start putting your time and your energy and your money into someone else, you will feel better. You'll be less bored, and you'll be less depressed, and you'll be less worried about things. You'll be more excited about what God has for your future instead of being super bummed about what's been taken from your past. And so hear those words again, and I want you to think about how you can right now, this week, do one of those things for someone else. So how can you comfort someone, encourage them, make them strong, grow their faith, or give them hope? That's what tonight's all about. We have to figure out how to make this time in this quarantine purposeful. We need to take advantage of this new normal that people have, this never before seen time and opportunity for us to figure out how to show people who God is and what His people are supposed to be doing. So as you and your friends are stuck home and bored and sad and alone, no friends, no schools, no restaurants, nowhere to hang out, missed milestones. Okay, so how can you encourage your generation? Because guys, you are the bridge. There's the people that you love, friends, family, whoever, and then there's God trying to show them who He is, and you are the bridge between those two things. And this verse is how you're going to be that bridge. It is not rocket science. You don't have to have a theology degree to do this. It is as simple as comforting someone, strengthening them, building their faith, giving them hope. And so we're going to do that right now. And I just want to show you something. A lot of those verses started with therefore or so. And there's a really bad old person joke that says, if you see in the Bible the word therefore, you got to figure out what it's there for. And even though that's cheesy, there's truth to that, because whenever it says therefore do something, 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 it's saying we need to do that because of something that was just said. And in this case, right before he says comfort, give hope, grow faith, make strong, he says here's who you are. You as God's people are different. You're supposed to be different. You were called out and you're chosen. And you are not of this world. And you're supposed to be different and talk different and think different and post different and react different. And so it's saying because of all that, because you are called to be different, therefore, go change someone's life. Go encourage someone. Go comfort someone. The world's going to do one thing. I want you to do the other thing. Make somebody strong. Grow their faith. Be that bridge. And so I've been having this crazy burden lately of like, it's this unshakable, unsettled feeling, this kind of just uncentered experience where I'm just like, something's off. I'm missing something. And we talked about it at our staff meeting, and it's just like, there's just something that the church is supposed to rise up and do. There's just a missed opportunity where it's like, we could be doing something in this time. There's this missing piece of the puzzle, and it's just like, I can't shake that feeling. And it's kind of like I'm watching the world do it. Like Jimmy Fallon's doing the Tonight Show from his house, and John Krasinski is like all about the good news in the quarantine. I'm thinking, yeah, something like that, where it's like there's a space not taken yet, and someone's gonna fill it with this creative new idea. And that's what the world is doing. But what's the church alternative to that? What's the church opportunity for that? And I kind of feel like the reason that I have this uncomfortable burden and I can't shake it is because I'm not the one that's going to come up with it. I can't solve that feeling or fix that unsettled feeling, because I'm not the one that's going to fix it. You are the bridge. You're going to figure out new ways of doing church and new ways to reach people and new ways to do ministry that will start in this quarantine but go forever. Where you look back and go, 2020. Right now, we're calling it the worst year ever, and there's memes about throwing it away. And I have a hilarious one on my page about if it was a slide, it would be a cheese shredder. Yikes! Yes, 2020 so far has not been awesome, but at some point, if we do our jobs right, we're going to look back and go, oh, that's when all this was birthed. That's when all this was come up with. That's when we figured out how to do this thing that reaches so many people, that changed my life. And so I want you to comment below if you have any ideas already about how to bring someone hope in a way that we haven't or that doesn't exist yet in the church, or even one that does exist, but you're like, I want to start doing it. It's not a new idea, but I want to give it action. I want to become that. And so I'm going to give you a bunch of ideas too. None of them are really new, but there's power when you actually do them. They're great as an idea, but if everyone listening to this YouTube channel actually did it, we would be living out 1 Thessalonians. We would be giving hope. We would be comforting. We would be strengthening. We would be building up faith. And so every Thursday we have a discipleship challenge at the end of the message. And so that's just a way that you can grow your life. And so the discipleship challenge this week will be pick one of these that I'm about to say, okay? And that's how we're going to be the bridge. So as I read them, just think about them, talk to God about them, write them down, put them in your phone, put them anywhere you need to, where you can just go, okay, God, what do you have for me with this topic? So here's a couple ideas. First of all, you can give someone a Living Beyond Normal video. So we catch kids doing awesome stuff all the time, and we give them a Living Beyond Normal bracelet. You can do the same thing. You can say, hey, this person did this awesome thing. I saw this other teenager be beyond normal, and just capture a video of it and send it to us. We can give them a bracelet for that. Or you can make a Speed of Light challenge video. You can just take 10 seconds and record yourself giving a challenge to your generation of how can we rise up for our missionaries? How can we rise up and get our $2 into our containers for lives to be changed? You can pick the songs for next week's YouTube worship. You can put together the videos. You can pick them out and say, this one speaks to me. Let's get it up on there. We will do it. We're giving you a challenge on Saturdays for Speed of Light, Mondays for outreach, Thursdays for you. And you could be doing that. You could be doing it and posting about it. That will do everything 1 Thessalonians has asked us to. And you could maybe write a letter of forgiveness, that one person that you haven't forgiven yet, and you know you need to. And so you could write out a letter and send it to them. Or if you could write out a letter and not send it to them, you can just write it for yourself to finally have forgiveness for that person. You could start following one of our missionaries online. If you need some ideas, let us know. Or find one that's already been to our church and you can follow them online and give them encouragement. You could ding-dong ditch somebody treats. We had a blast ding-dong ditching you guys those peeps. And so you can just decide, I'm going to make someone's day and I'm going to ding-dong ditch some treats or some care packages. Or you could start a YouVersion Devo with your friends. You can invite people from the church or from school who you know you can find one that speaks to what they struggle with, and you can be like, let's do this together. You can find a really short one. Let's just do this for 3 days together. That will be bringing hope. Or you can send an actual letter in the mail with a stamp. Maybe you want to do that to someone older than you who will appreciate it. So just bringing hope. Or you can text somebody a song or a verse that has spoken to you in the past about something in your life that's helped you. You can give it to somebody else. You could create a parking lot date with some of your friends and just honk and wave and laugh and make it a way to bring someone hope. Or you can walk around your neighborhood and throw candy at kids, 6 feet away of course. But can you imagine what that does to a neighborhood or a city when the Christians start rising up and are the ones bringing hope, are the ones that are comforting, are the ones that are building somebody up? It'd be awesome. Or you could take a friend that you've been praying about and ask them to hang out with you during your small group time on Thursday, or invite them over and watch the Thursday YouTube service with them, and just use it as a jumping off point to talk about who God is in your life. Or you can post something good John Krasinski's up to something, right? Like, there's a lot of scary, crazy news, but what if the Christians were posting good things, awesome things that are still happening? Because they are all over the world. Or maybe you want to thank a leader or a teacher. Just write them a quick text or email and say, hey, here's how you've changed my life. Here's how I'm better because of you. That will spread hope quicker than anything. And you know what? It might just be what keeps them in the game. It might just be what helps them be a leader or a teacher one more year and impact a year's worth of people. And so those are just some ideas. You're going to come up with better ones. That's the whole reason I have this burden that feels unsettled, because you're going to do it. I'm going to see the problem, but you're going to find the solution. And so watch every Monday for more outreach challenges of how to make a difference in your world. But for now, you are the bridge. You are the bridge between who God is and the world that more so than ever desperately needs Him. And so the quickest way to cheer up someone else, or the quickest way to cheer up yourself, is to cheer up someone else. And so I challenge you to do that. Take 1 Thessalonians 5:11 very seriously and figure out how you can comfort, or you can bring hope, or you can build up, or you can give strength, or you can do all those things that mentioned. So we are going to rise up. We're going to be the diff, and we're going to do it together. You guys are not alone, even though you don't see our faces as much. We are praying for you. We are fighting for you. We are believing in you, and we cannot wait to get back together and celebrate everything that God did in the meantime. And so we're going to start into a time of worship, and I just want you to kind of put those things before you, those ideas or thoughts that God might have started in your heart or mind. Just write them down, let Him flesh those out, let Him speak to them, let Him put His anointing on it. Just give those ideas to Him, ask Him for more, and just see what comes out of this moment, this night, with the however many people are watching this channel tonight, this YouTube message. What if we all did what God asked us to do? He's going to speak to us in worship. He's going to speak to us all week as we start to give these ideas to Him. What if we all just did what He asked us to? The world would be different, right? Then we wouldn't have to wait till the quarantine's over. We don't need a celebrity endorsing it. We don't need 100 more people. If just the people watching right now did the things that God has birthed in our hearts and minds to do, whew, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to celebrate with you in person. Until then, I want you to click on the worship videos, which hopefully next week you might have picked one, and just engage them any way you want. You can sing along, or you can find them on Spotify. You can journal or art the words. You can just talk to God about the words. There's so much power in talking to God about lyrics, because a lot of times lyrics are based on His word. And so just have your moment with God and these songs, and then let your life worship Him until our voices can worship Him together. So I will see you on Saturday for the Speed the Light challenge. Hopefully you have your Speed the Light containers, because we are going to give an awesome offering that will save so many lives when we get back. And then Monday for the outreach challenge to help the world be different. So let your small group leader know if you need anything, if your parents need anything, if you need prayer for anything. We are going to be the diff even in the quarantine. So let's worship, and I will see you on Saturday.